Can you hear that voice? The one saying, you can't, you're silly if you think you can, you're not good enough. Well, that's your self-doubt talking, so stay tuned because I've got 5 tips to help you overcome self-doubt. Hey there, I hope you're well. My name's Coops and welcome to ThinkCanWill. So self-doubt, what a nightmare. Listen, we all have those voices in our head that kind of tell us, they nag away and tell us we can't do stuff or we're maybe not good enough. And that's what I want to talk about today. So before I get into that, one of the things I would think it's worth doing is recognising the impacts of self-doubt and what that negative talk does for us. So for me, there are 3 kind of key areas. Now the list of impacts of self-doubt will go on pages and pages and pages. But for me, one of the main things is it can be quite crippling. That negative self-talk just basically stops us being able to move forward. It impacts our motivation and morale. So, if we tell ourselves that we can't do things or we're not good enough, then basically it stops us trying to move forward and stops us from achieving our goals. And finally, it causes us to procrastinate. We basically put things off because we're scared of the failure, because we think we can't, because that's what we tell ourselves. So that's what I want to talk about today, is how to address and deal with some of that self-doubt and that negative self-talk. I've got 5 tips which hopefully you'll find useful, and these are based on my experience of dealing with my own self-doubt as well as supporting others with theirs. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so number 1, the first thing to do to support with dealing with self-doubt is to review your influences. And what I mean by that is take a look at the influences around you, the people in your life. Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they always moaning, or actually are they relatively positive? We all have moany days, but if you're surrounded by people that do nothing but moan, then actually maybe they're not the best influence you want. Similarly, are they supportive? Are they supportive of your goals, your ambitions, and what you want to achieve? Or do they tell you that you can't, or you're being silly and things like that? So look at those influences, and if they're not the positive influence that you need, then maybe you need to cut the ties a little bit. Similarly, look at where you work and the working culture. Does your job role give you the autonomy that you need? Are you trusted? Do you feel valued? Are you supported to develop and progress? Are you given encouragement, or are you just kind of given criticism? So look at that as an influence on you. There's obviously loads of other influences around you, and take a look at those, because things like the people around us, where we work, and some of our habits can negatively impact us. So tip number 2 is stop trying to be perfect, and this is one that many of us are guilty of, and I particularly am. I know I am, because I'm the kind of guy that if I got 99% on a test, I would want to redo the test so I could get 100%. I always wanted to try and get the perfect score. And it took a lot of speaking to myself to tell myself that actually 99% is alright, and accept that perfection is an ever-moving goalpost. The thing with seeking perfection is it stops us putting ourselves out there because we are scared of looking silly or scared of making mistakes. But it's an excuse. Wanting to be perfect is an excuse not to try, and it's okay to not be perfect, and it's okay to not be quite as good as you want to be. And the thing you need to remember is, and I've said this to a lot of people over the years, is you're striving for perfection, but actually your good enough may actually be somebody else's perfect. So just reevaluate actually what is an acceptable level to be working towards. At this stage, before I move on to my next point, I just want to take a moment to say, if you're liking this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also why don't you let me know down in the comments any tips and advice that you have for dealing with those moments of self-doubt. So tip number 3 is don't compare yourself with others. And in this day and age with social media and all that kind of stuff, there's so much discussion around looking at other people's lives and comparing ourselves with what we think we should be like, and how we think we should be living, and how we think we should be doing things, and all that kind of stuff. Do not compare yourself with others. Remember, you are you, you're doing things your way, on your terms, so don't worry about what anybody else is or isn't doing. Just worry about yourself. Think about what you've already achieved. You've already accomplished so much, so just keep moving forwards, and you can do this. So tip number 4 is to be brave and just do it anyway. It's really tricky, I know it is, but sometimes when you have that nagging voice in your head telling you that you can't do something or you shouldn't be doing it like that, sometimes you have to talk over that voice with the positive self-talk and remind yourself actually you can do this and just take the action anyway. If you can get into the habit when you have that moment of self-doubt of talking over it and telling yourself you can, then you'll soon get into the habit of learning that actually you can do the things that you set your mind to. So my fifth and final point is to find a mentor, and I'm not saying you need to put an advert out to say mentor required, although that might work, but you know, take a look at the people around you in your life. Is there anybody whose opinion you value and respect? And you know, because we all need somebody that can basically help guide us through the challenges in life and you know, reassure us that we've got this, give us the kick up the backside if we need it sometimes, and basically keep us on the right path and the straight and narrow. You know, we just need that reassurance that we got this, because you have got it and you can do it. Remember, if you think you can, you will. So listen, hope you found that useful. Don't forget to let me know down in the comments any further tips that you think help with dealing with those moments of self-doubt. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like button on this video. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Till next time, take care, and I'll see you soon.